Good morning, this is Mrs. Pettit. Yesterday you had a chance to experiment with Google Earth. Today we're going to do a project with Google Earth. So as you can see, I've started up Google Earth, and mine's a little different. Usually when you start up Google Earth, you can see things like roads and photos and borders and labels. I like to have those turned off for the project that we're going to do. So I'm going to uncheck each of those in the layers box. So it's pretty plain. Up here in the Fly To box, I'm going to put my favorite place on Earth, and yours might be the Grand Canyon or New York City or the Alps. I'm going to put Crater Lake. So I'm going to search for Crater Lake, and Google Earth is going to zoom in and show me Crater Lake. So hopefully you had a chance to experiment with this a little bit yesterday. And this zooms in a little closer than I like it to be. I'm going to change that in a minute. Also, it gives me a couple of place marks here, and I'm going to delete those because I'm going to create my own place mark, and that's what you're going to do. So I'm taking those out of there, but I'm still at the location. I want to zoom out a little bit. That's a little close for me. And I want to tilt this a little bit, so hopefully you don't get too dizzy. Different kind of view here. Okay. So that looks pretty good. I can pick it up and move it a little bit. Whoops, too close. That's pretty good. I like to see the edge of the rim of Crater Lake, and I like to see Wizard Island. So this is my favorite view. And so what I want to do is add a place mark. And then I want to right click on the place mark, and I want to choose snapshot view. So it's actually going to take a snapshot of the view we are looking at right now, and that's going to be part of my place mark. Alright, so I want to right click on the place mark again and go to properties, and you saw this a few seconds ago, and I'm going to put Crater Lake up in the title for the name, and then where the yellow place mark is, I'm going to right click on there, or I can just click on there, and then I want to choose an icon that goes with my favorite place. And because Crater Lake was a volcano, I'm going to choose the volcano icon, and I can change that a little bit in size if I want. I'm just going to add that icon, and you can see it gives you the latitude and the longitude. I'm sure you've studied that. Now down here in the description, I'm going to paste some text on why I think Crater Lake is such a cool place. So I wrote this before, typed it all out, and I spell checked it in Microsoft Word. So I went to the review tab and used the spell check. And then the other thing I want to use is word count, because I want your description to be 50 to 100 words. Miraculously, mine is exactly 100 words. So I'm going to close that, and I'm going to highlight my text and right click and copy, and go back to Google Earth and click in this description box and right click and paste. And so there's my description of why I think Crater Lake is a very cool place. And I want a blank line below that, and I'm going to add an image. Now, also previously, I went out on the internet and I found Crater Lake National Park, and I want to use this image of Crater Lake. And I know because this is the National Park Service and it's a government site that this is a public domain image. So I can use this legally. So I'm going to right click and copy the image URL. That means the location on the internet. And then I'm going to go back to Google Earth, and I'm going to click Add Image and just paste that image URL in that little box and click OK. And you can see that it put the programming in here so we can see that image. And then I'm going to click OK. So here's my place mark. If I double click it, here's the text I just wrote. Oh, I don't know why it's doing that. Here's the text I just wrote and the picture. Okay. Pretty cool, huh? So now I want to save this because it just exists on my computer right now. So I go to File and Save Place As. And I previously created a folder for this, so it's in my Documents folder, and it's at the very top. And I put an underscore first so it would show up at the beginning of all the stuff I have. So it's called Crater Lake. And but I don't want to call this Crater Lake in that folder. I'm going to call it my name. And you want to call it your name because guess what? You are going to send this to me. And you want to make sure, notice I put my name in all lowercase and I put an underscore in there. You don't usually put spaces in file names. And you want this to be a KML file. So you're going to choose Save As Type, KML, give it your name, save. And so now it's actually saved in that folder. And so I can attach it like I could attach any other document. So you could send that to someone, you can upload it to Moodle, which is what you're going to do, and when the other person receives it, they can simply double click it and they will come back to Google Earth if they have Google Earth on their computer, and it will show them the exact view that you set up, and then if they click on the icon, they'll get what you wrote and the picture you included. Have fun with this, and I can't wait to see what you come up with.